you guys are gross for wanting me to do this video. I wasn't gonna do this video. I had thought of this idea and then I wrote it off because it was gonna be disgusting. And then once I made the original Bleach video, tons of you guys wanted me to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm giving you a warning now, it's gonna be disgusting. So, we are leaving 6 different types of foods in jars full of bleach for 30 days. Now what are those foods, you might ask? So, our first one, we're going with the chicken breast. And I'm sure that this is gonna be just amazing in bleach. All right. Second, we're going to go with a piece of fish. And I don't remember what kind of fish this is. I'm thinking it might be salmon, but I don't think it's salmon. I think it's something else. Oh, that thing kind of smells as it is. That is not gonna be good. Now, our third thing, eggs. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this. I can only assume that it's probably gonna eat the shell off of them and maybe a little bit more. We're gonna do 3 eggs. Now, number 4, some steak in there. Let me get a knife. Got my knife. All right, let's put 2 of these pieces in here. I think that'll be good enough. Now our 5th thing, hot dogs. I saw so many comments to put hot dogs in here, so I had to do that one. Put all those in there, that should be good enough. And now our final thing, something that I think is gross anyway, even without the bleach, pickles. I'm not a fan of pickles. I do not like pickles. I don't like any type of pickle. They smell gross. So let's fill this thing up. And you have to fight them out of the jar. Pickles are all around are just bad. I'm very happy to put the lid back on that. That is disgusting. Probably not gonna have enough space. All right, so we have, what is this? We have our chicken breast, our hot dogs, eggs, some type of fish, could be salmon, could not be salmon, some steak, and some pickles. Now let's fill these jars up with bleach and let them sit for 30 days. Alright guys, all 6 of our jars are full of bleach, and as you can tell, I tried not to fill the jars all the way to the top because you can see every single one of these jars, except for the eggs and the pickles kinda, are foaming. And if you saw in the last bleach video, it foamed out of the top and made a big mess, so I tried not to fill them all the way to the top so that wouldn't happen. So now all we have to do is just wait 30 days, then we'll open these up and see what's festering inside. Well, just as I suspected, everything in these jars is just as disgusting as I thought it was going to be, especially these pickles, which I don't like anyway. There's no color left. They're completely white. These hot dogs over here look like they've been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for the last 600 years. Something I'm kind of surprised about is, at least just looking through this jar, it doesn't look like much happened to these eggs. They just kind of look normal, which isn't something I would have expected. Even though I don't really want to, I guess it's time to open these jars and see what's inside. So, I guess the first one that we're gonna look at is gonna be the steak. Now this looks pretty bloody. It smells really bad. Wow. Doesn't look like much happened. This pretty much just feels like I figured this would be really brittle. Like it would have ate away at it or something. But this really, I'm trying to rip it away a little bit. Look at the inside. Yeah, the inside. Let's see if I can just pull this thing apart here. The inside still looks kind of red, even though the outside is all brown. So this really didn't do much at all. I figured it would have kind of at least dissolved it a little bit, maybe. But no, this feels like a raw steak. I mean, it pretty much is a raw steak, just that's been soaked in bleach. And it just looks kind of brown like it's aged. I figured it would have done more. Next, let's go ahead and get these pickles out of the way. I know they're gonna be, I don't know what they're gonna be. Pickles are bad when they're fresh, so there's no way that they're not gonna be bad after being soaked in bleach. Ugh. Ugh. Ew. Oh, they absorbed a lot of it. That's so crazy how they're white, how they're just completely bleached white. I wouldn't think that that would happen. They still smell like pickles. They still smell disgusting. Oh, did you hear that? They really absorbed a lot of the bleach though. So that's kind of interesting. And yet again, they weren't really like dissolved. I don't know. I really figured a lot of this stuff would be dissolved. But no, they just look like pickles that have been bleached white. Alright, let's see what's going on with these eggs. Since it really doesn't look like much happened to them. Wow, they really don't look like anything happened to them. The shell's still intact? The shell's even still hard? Yeah, the shell's still crunchy. It even cracks out like an egg. So I guess the bleach didn't even get in there. Huh. Yeah. On the inside, you wouldn't even know. I guess. Let me try to pay attention whenever I do this last one. I don't know. No, I was thinking maybe the egg white was kind of gone, but everything's still there just like a normal egg. The bleach, the shell is still crunchy. I would have thought that the bleach would have at least softened up the shell. I think every other liquid that I've put eggs in, I think it's at least softened up the shell. But you can hear it. Shell's still crunchy. Nothing leaked out, nothing got in. Nothing happened. I think I might have started some type of a reaction. Because as you saw, I cracked the eggs into this thing, into the pan, and then I just took the pan and poured them back into this jar so I could dispose of them. And you can see now it's foaming up, and the jar is getting really hot. I would say it's probably like 110 degrees or so, and I can hear it like kind of fizzing. I have a temperature gun here. I'm just gonna check the temperature, see what kind of temperature we're working with. 99 there. Oh, back here. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's 109 degrees back here. Back to 109 down here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I guess having the egg whites and the yolks and stuff mixed up in there, I guess it made it angry. Next up, since I just kind of want to get this one over with, since it looks so bad, the hot dogs. Oh, even the water looks all thick. Or the bleach, rather. Oh, look at that. Oh, they feel like stiff. Huh. And it's just kind of the outside skin, too. The skin, it looks like It feels like a pickle, honestly, as disgusting as that sounds. But they still aren't really deteriorated or anything like I thought they would be. I don't have a fresh hot dog to compare it to, but they rip apart just like a normal hot dog. Like I said before, that looks like something that has been at the bottom of the ocean for the last 600 years. Like it's growing barnacles on it or something. And it kind of has like that hot dog water bleach smell. This is just disgusting. Next up, we have the piece of chicken. I have a pretty strong feeling that this is probably going to be like the steak. And probably not a whole lot has happened to it. Oh, that just looks so gross. Oh, this one has a worse smell to it too. Oh, wow. You can tell it's absorbed the bleach because it's like, it feels like it's bloated is what it feels like. Once you kind of rip it open, it just looks like raw chicken. But it feels kind of brittle, actually. A little bit more brittle than the steak was. But it also, whenever you feel it, like whenever you just squeeze it, it just feels bloated. It feels like it has like a kind of like a crispy outer skin, and then the inside just feels like it's like swollen and bloated. And it has a very bad smell to it too. Yeah, that's bad. I gotta get this back in this jar and get it sealed up. And last but not least, we have the salmon. And I guarantee this one's gonna be just as gross as the other ones. Oh. This video is pretty bad. Some of these smells, I wish you guys could smell some of this stuff. Because it is so foul. Okay. It's just kind of falling apart. But I don't think that's because of the bleach. Because if you've ever had salmon before, you know that salmon's very tender anyway, and it just falls apart naturally. And it does have a weird smell. I don't think this is enough to really say that the bleach did anything. Because like I said, if you've ever had salmon before, you know it's very tender anyway, and it just kind of flakes apart. So I don't think that the bleach did a whole lot to it, other than just make it a disgusting mess. Alright guys, thankfully that was the last of the jars. From the smell in here, I feel like I just put on the worst cooking show in history. It just smells, I really wish you could smell it in here. It smells so bad. I'm really surprised, actually. I thought, after seeing what the bleach did to all those fabrics and how it just made everything just so brittle and you could just pull everything apart and everything was just so fragile, I really thought that if I put food in bleach, something that's more fragile than a pair of jeans or whatever, that it would just make it just kind of like turn to mush and just like flake apart like no problem. But as you saw, that was absolutely not the case, and for the most part, it didn't really affect the food that much. Like the physical strength of it, like especially the eggs. It didn't even hardly affect them at all. The shells were still real crunchy, and you could still just crack them and get the yolks and the egg whites out and everything. I guess that was kind of a letdown. Didn't really do what I expected it to do. If there's anything else that you want to see me leave inside of a jar with something for 30 days, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.